Welcome back, everybody. Lots to talk about, lots going on always. What a great time to be in crypto. We're going to talk today. Welcome to the 2020 bull run. This 2017-2018 bull run versus 2020 bull run, not even close. This time is very, very different. Let's roll that beautiful intro and get into this.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Okay, welcome back. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradley above at the top of the screen and everything that we're talking about here today. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe and the notification bell on the way in. So here we go. So, I said it on the way in here, welcome to the 2020 bull run. And in comparison to 2017, 2018, this is going to blow it out of the water in my estimation of what I see of the fundamentals of this entire digital asset space, specifically noting XRP as well. So this time is very, very different. Let's start off with this talk right here. So this is Bond Crypt XRP. VanEck launches physically backed Bitcoin ETNs. On Deutsche Börse Extra, I think I said that right, will allow investors to participate directly in the performance of Bitcoin, but without buying the digital currency themselves, making it as uncomplicated as trading in shares or ETFs. Now, I want to note a couple things. One, I think a lot of us out here that deal with directly holding the asset, buying and holding what we've bought, is the way to go for us. But this does really start to look like the traditional market when you start to see these products that are offered on top of the underlying asset, especially to the institutional eye. When the institutions start to see these products on top of the underlying asset like this, you can forget about it. I mean, they know what to do with these products. They know how to make money and win with these products. This is what they're used to. This is what we're seeing taking shape, and I feel like it's very good. Let's take a look at Bitcoin's current price right now. Just a short time ago, it was dipped down below the 19,000 mark. It was back in the 18,000 plus range. And we know that Bitcoin has been kind of hanging out here for a while now, last day or two. And, it is going to be interesting to see if Bitcoin makes a run back to 20,000 or even higher, like some people are calling for. And I think it's got room to do it. But there is that one nagging little thing that won't go away. And it's regulators and government leaders around the world saying U.S. intelligence chief raises concerns with the SEC over China's crypto dominance. The report on November 25th, 2020. And, when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is a dominance coming out of China over those two assets. And at some point, I don't think that those assets go away. I think they're here long term. But I do feel like there has to be something in the regulatory framework and in the policy nature that will begin to address the dominance that is taking place from China and a small handful of miners there. So very interesting in the, it's one of those to be continued, right? But I don't believe that it's over. I do believe that longevity-wise, Bitcoin and Ethereum are here to stay. When I see things like Mike Novogratz and Galaxy Digital and Barry Silbert and the Grayscale investment funds and things of that nature, I really feel like in those products, I get a good sign that the fundamentals are here to stay. But that doesn't mean that we won't see things change in how they're done. That is something we're going to pay close attention to. And it's not the first time that we've heard a lot of speak about Bitcoin and the dominance out of China, as well as the downside, which is that Bitcoin has an enormous carbon footprint. So, with that being said, this is from Bond Crypt as well, and this is for having fun a little bit. But I think this is going to take us again back into a conversation that is really, to me, pretty obvious. But it's a psychological game for all of us investors, and we all got to make our own decisions. Here he says, distribution of world's wealth, total wealth by country in 2019, world map of billionaires 2020, number of billionaires and total wealth accumulated. Let it sink in. Internet of Value, FinTech, XRP and Ripple. I'm going to go right here to the world map of billionaires. And just looking here, China's got 388. And then looking here in the U.S., 614 billionaires as of 2020 here. The reason I'm showing this is because we're going to go back now and just remember that there's 614 billionaires in the United States right now in 2020, according to this map. Shout out to Bond Crypt. But I wanted to point out some things that are fundamental about Ripple and XRP and their partners. This is a clip from a screenshot from King Sneaky Muse, who sent this to me, and shout out to you, King, for sending this in. This is a screenshot from about a month ago at Corticon, and you can see this is a MoneyGram technology stack image. And what I find interesting in this is that we have the central bank digital currency listed underneath of the settlement engine here. It shows Swift GPI, RippleNet, obviously, WorldWire, and Financial Blockchain, SBI, Bank Network, Crypto Stablecoin, Central Bank Digital Currency. Why does MoneyGram already have a technology stack image set up with a central bank digital currency? The plot thickens. Then we come into the idea that Ripple launches push to make XRP Ledger integral part of the central bank digital currency movement. Let's see. Now, leg bone's connected to the knee bone, right? Ripple's partner with MoneyGram. MoneyGram got a settlement layer with central bank digital currency, and Brad Garlinghouse just told us a handful of days ago that central banks are looking at the XRP Ledger open source technology to issue central bank digital currencies. Come on in. Now, building out on that, we see HSBC introduces a new real-time global payments tool. Well, now, this is interesting because this is 50 seconds right here. We're going to watch this 50-second little commercial, and then I'm going to pause it at the proper little time so you and I can talk about it. We know, by the way, if you don't, HSBC is a RippleNet partner. The new platform gives users the ability to send money from any HSBC account in real time and get preferential FX rates. What's interesting about this is RippleNet and HSBC are obviously on RippleNet, if my memory serves me right, and I'm pretty sure it does. That is pretty remarkable because what is the ultimate use? The ultimate use is settlement of value, being the FX currency market, with XRP being the exchange rate peg in between all the currencies of the world. That's really where we're at here. And you see them advertising it. Now, do they say Ripple? No. Do they say XRP? No, they don't. But I'm not so robotic that I don't understand what a partnership on RippleNet means and what they're actually contributing here and what they are offering as a end goal. XRP is back end. It's not going to be a front end advertisement in most cases, because it is a back-end solution to all of the companies that need to use it for settling payments of any kind, right? So, or transferring value. Here's just a little reminder here from back in 2019, almost a year ago to today, HSBC, Santander, SBR Group preparing for RippleNet mass adoption. Well, as far as I can tell, that's going good. So when I come here, we look at the price. We're at 68.68 right now. The market was down a little bit this morning, taking a bit of a breath, but now it's back. And, this looks good to me. And it looks great. I mean, great, in fact. I really love it. I love seeing it. But what are we talking about here? We're talking about some speculative, maybe, a small amount of institutional volume coming in here, moving the needle a touch. Possibly some of the Bank of America news now that it's listed on RippleNet. All these things are contributing factors, but we've had massive news over the last 3 years and not seen the needle move. Well, I believe we're getting closer to a point to where the world leaders and the top regulators of the world are having to speak to this moment. The market is responding, and you can't rule out the animal spirits. They have shown us that they are alive and well in 2017, 2018. The difference this time is that we're headed to an inflection point to the crypto space, and that inflection point is use case utility. And we have it in spades, and that's good news for us because we do have it in spades. And one of the things I wanted to point out while we're at 68 cents is that obviously we're headed to a much higher ground. If the central banking system or even part of it decides to issue stable coins on the XRP ledger, it is going to drive an enormous amount of trillions of dollars worth of utility onto the ledger. And because it will be a synchronized event between central banks and the issuance of those coins, it will happen probably immediately in that fashion. But I would expect to hear something from the G7, G20 level, as well as to be able to hear something from the SEC, FinCEN, the Treasury potentially, right? FSOC, and entities like this domestically here in the States, either in tandem or shortly thereafter. I wanted to remind people there's another aspect even about Ripple that is special. Last 2 interviews we've heard with Brad Garlinghouse, we've had a term come up, and that term is SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company. The interview that he did right before the Frank Chaparro interview, speaking about Brad Garlinghouse now, that topic came up at the end of that interview about Ripple being a good fit to be a SPAC, a special purpose acquisition company. Looking in through here in the summation of the podcast here from Frank Chaparro, indeed, some crypto firms have been considering SPAC-centric strategies, including BlockFi and Ripple. There's also firms like Coinbase, which said it'd be in the process of going public in the near term, as previously reported by Reuters. Now, again, let me just highlight what a SPAC is so we can all get familiar with this terminology. And basically, a special purpose acquisition company is a company with no commercial operations that is formed strictly to raise capital through an initial public offering. The purpose of acquiring an existing company, also known as a blank check company. SPACs have been around for decades. In recent years, they've become more popular, attracting big-name underwriters and investors and raising a record amount of IPO money in 2019 and 2020. As at the beginning of August, more than 50 SPACs have been formed in the United States, which have raised some $21.5 billion. It says here, key takeaways: a special purpose acquisition company is formed to raise money through an initial public offering to buy another company. Okay. At the time of their IPO, SPACs have no existing business operations or even stated targets for acquisition. And it says here, investors in SPACs can range from well-known private equity funds to the general public. And it says here, SPACs have 2 years to complete an acquisition and must return their funds to the investors. Now, the interesting thing here is that if indeed Ripple takes this centric strategy of being a special purpose acquisition company, what would they be about to acquire? Would it be R3 like we've all talked about for a very long time? Would they go ahead and acquire MoneyGram? I don't see the need in doing that, but would that be an option? Or would they buy a bank? Who knows? Would they buy Swift? Would they make a merger with someone like Swift, which is not a publicly traded company, by the way? It's a private enterprise. And That is a pretty interesting notion when you think about it, because at the end of the day, we are looking and talking about something very special here. We do know, and shout out to Sir Gordon here, we do know that Swift Germany head admits that the new strategy is a reaction to Ripple. Germany's head of Swift, Jürgen Marstadt, admitted that the new strategy is a reaction to fintechs like Ripple and also Visa. We also know that Ripple has been made a part of the ISO 20022 standards body and committee, because the ISO 2022 is also the de facto global standard for payments. Ripple being brought onto that committee is specifically done so they can be the first member on that committee to help with the implementation of distributed ledger technology. What does all of this mean? We've talked about SPACs. We've talked about the tech stack image with MoneyGram and central bank digital currencies. We talked about Brad Garlinghouse and the launch of CBDCs on the ledger. We talked about all of this stuff. Swift recognizing how incredible Ripple's tech is, right? What does it mean? Well, I can tell you that some of the richest people in the world are people that have invested in technology in its early stages. That's you and me. Just look at this list and what these people do. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, fintech company basically, right? Handles logistics and sending things, books now to groceries, you name it. Microsoft, Bill Gates. Larry Ellison, software. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Steve Ballmer, Microsoft. I mean, 52 billion and up we've seen so far, right? Larry Page, Google, 50 billion. Sergey Brin, Google, 49 billion. Jack Ma, 38.8 billion, e-commerce. Ma Hotang, 38 billion, internet media. Mackenzie Bezos, married a guy in fintech. Michael Dell, 22.9 billion. China, 17 billion, online games. I mean, the list goes on and on up to 20. I think you get where we're going here. To me, I don't know that we're going to be starting our own Amazon, and I wish you well if you do, because I think anybody can do anything they set their mind to. But my point here is that all of these people on this list have that in common, that they are billionaires because they were early investors in tech companies that they were a part of. Now, we're just investors in this space. I'm not saying that all of us will be wealthy, because I don't know what all of us has decided to invest in. And I'm not here to tell you what to invest in, because I'm not a financial advisor. But what I am here to say is that this is obviously the early tech of the fourth industrial revolution. And I know if you're listening to this, you have a stake in this game. And I don't know where all of this lands, but wherever this plane lands, I think a good portion of all of us listening to this video right now will be in a much different place with our portfolio, in a much healthier and wealthier place with our portfolio than it is right now at 68 cents, because the ultimate goal is thousands of dollars per XRP. That's going to do it for me. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Make sure you check out all the descriptions or all the links in the description and the comment box. There's really great products and services there. They're all trusted and vetted links, and there's some great Black Friday deals going on right now. Make sure you check out I Trust Capital. Make sure you check out the Black Friday special with Pure VPN, hide your anonymity online, and the Black Friday special with 3 months free from Clinton Donnelly, the crypto tax fixer, and many, many more, and even an educational course that's very affordable. I will see all of you on the next one.